everybody, my name is Danny and I'm with Ident, and I'm here to talk to you today about hardware and installing your signs onto your posts. What's the big deal about hardware? Well, there's a couple things that you should be aware of. Make sure your hardware that you buy is galvanized. It's really important to have galvanized hardware. You want to also have locking washers with them or some kind of locking mechanism. We happen to use lock washers. Other hardware sets might have locking nuts. Those are critical pieces that are with this. And the reason is you don't want the sign wiggling itself loose over a period of time. The galvanized part is really important because you don't want rusted hardware out there 6 months down the road when you need to go out there and check on a sign and possibly make a change to the product. You don't want to be fumbling around with rusted nuts and bolts. But in my opinion, the most critical part is having the appropriate spacers. Spacers are designed to work with the post, and it's critical that you have the right spacer with the right post. Here's a couple of different sizes of spacers. As you can see, the one in my left hand is a bit longer than the one in my right hand. It's really important because spacers, as I said, are designed to work with a post. So this spacer is matched with this post, and what it does is it fills the gap between the bottom of the flange and the top of the flange here so that your sign sits nice and flat there. What happens when you pick the wrong spacer? Well, here's a sign where we've installed an incorrect spacer. As you can see from the front, you'll see some bending happen. If I zoom in on that for you, you can see that the spacer's too short. And as you over tighten, which is typically what happens when you're out in the field installing, you'll bend the sign. Last sign I showed you, the spacer was just too short. This one, the spacer's just too long. As you can see, the sign is not even touching the flanges of the U-channel post. And this one, I like to call it just wrong. They've used the spacers on the wrong side altogether. Finally, here's a sign that's installed with the proper length spacer for the post. As you can see, regardless of how tight you tighten it, you've got a sign that's nice and flat across the front, and that's the proper installation of a sign. So, takeaways, make sure you've got galvanized hardware, make sure there's a locking mechanism, and make sure that you're using the appropriate spacer for the appropriate post. Thank you.